Thanks for listening to English Go Podcast. If you'd like to listen without adverts, read episode transcripts, or listen to extra bonus episodes, please check the description for more details. I'm going to try uploading 2 episodes today because, as you may have noticed, I've missed a couple of episodes. I should have uploaded a couple of episodes recently and I didn't, so sorry about that. And why is that? I guess I've been feeling a bit lost lately. And what do I mean by lost? Well, sort of. I suppose, when you move to another country, everything's crazy and all over the place, and then eventually you sort of get used to it and settle down a bit. And then after that, it's sort of, I don't know, sort of feeling like, what do I do next? There's just been like a really, really huge change in my life. And you just think about what can I do next? What's the next step? And to be perfectly honest, I don't have an answer. So, yeah, I've just been feeling a bit lost. Just thinking about things, reflecting on my life, I guess. That sounds quite deep, doesn't it? Anyway, I went out for a walk this morning, and it's so cold now. I mean, it was 9 degrees, but it's getting so cold now that I want to put slippers on again. That's how cold it is. Even indoors, what is it now? It's about 18 degrees indoors, which is a little cold, to be honest. And I've started putting the heater on, as I mentioned before. But the sun, wow. I'm still always amazed by how warm the sun feels in Japan. I was sitting on a park bench, and it feels like my face is on fire. It feels like my face is burning. It's so hot. And I remember last year I got a suntan in January, which would just never happen in England. That's how hot it is. So I think I need to put sun cream on when I go out in the winter. Which is annoying because it means you have to put sun cream on all year. You have to put it on all throughout the summer, and then the spring, and then autumn, and also the winter. So there is no break from putting on sun cream, which isn't great because it's a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, I was thinking about studying recently, which is sort of a bit rare for me because, as I've said in the past, my studying, it's not been going as well as it did when I was in England. And I was looking at, I don't know about you, I don't know what you do when you study, but when I study, I generally time everything. So, if I'm reading, I time how long I've been reading for. And then I, record the time, record how long I've been reading for, or listening for, or studying vocabulary for. Just those are 3 things I tend to keep track of, keep a log on. And the reason I do it is so that I can look back and see, what was last month like, what was last year like, and see if it was sort of like a good year or a bad year. And I've just looked at how long I've studied for this year so far. And I think it was something like 250 hours, which is not great, to be perfectly honest. That's it's definitely going to be less than an hour a day. And when I was in England, I think it was at least double that. And then, in a sort of like a good year, it could be like 2 or 3 times that. I had some really good years, where I was just dedicating loads of time to studying Japanese when I was in England. But yeah, since coming here, not as good, I have to say. And I was listening to this podcast today, funnily enough, whilst I was studying. I was walking around the park studying, listening to a podcast, and it was a Japanese podcast, of course, I should say. And the person who makes this podcast, they're a Japanese teacher. And he was saying that he's noticed that recently there are people who are studying Japanese, or it doesn't really matter what language it is, but let's just say Japanese. They're studying Japanese in their own country, their like home country, and then they come to Japan, say for a year or something, and then their Japanese studying is not so good. And then when they return back to their own country, it's, everything returns to normal and their Japanese studying is good again. And he was saying that a long time ago, this was the opposite. Like, people wouldn't be able to study in their home country. They wouldn't be able to study the language they want to study in their home country, and then they'd go to another country, let's say Japan. They go to Japan and then do loads of studying there, and then when they went back home, then their studying would sort of be bad again. And he was saying he thought like a lot of this was to do with the internet, was related to the internet. And I think that makes sense. So I suppose like a long time ago, not that long actually, maybe like, how long ago? Like, let's say 20 years ago, 10, 15 or 20 years ago. I think it was a lot harder to get good access to resources for learning a language. Actually, for learning English, it's probably different, isn't it? Let's be honest. What am I talking about? I mean, I'm pretty sure that all of you listening to this podcast have probably easy access to like English books, maybe, I don't know. But I should imagine certainly English films. And you've got like, I don't know, maybe you can listen to English music and, yeah. But for me, being able to get hold of Japanese material, books, films, whatever, in England was very, very hard. It just didn't really exist that much. But as the internet, became bigger? I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but sort of more popular. There's so much access, so much easy access to Japanese content or English content or whatever. Like the other day I was saying I was really surprised I could listen to English radio for free here in Japan. British radio, I mean. So yes, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to get access to that stuff, even when you're living in your own country. And he was also saying that, like, the opposite is true as well. So these people who come to Japan, maybe they spend a lot of time, like, watching English television when they're in Japan. And perhaps that's the reason their studying isn't going so well. And I think that's partly true. I have watched some English TV whilst I've been over here. I don't tend to watch much TV at all. And that was true in England as well. I have a TV limit. It's like an hour a day. Then that's like the maximum. And then sometimes, I don't watch it for like months or something. But when I've watched it over here, yeah, I've watched some English stuff. I've watched some Japanese stuff, probably mostly English. And what he was saying was, when you live here all the time, you can sort of get like a language burnout. Like, so for me, it'd be a Japanese burnout. And then it's like, I just want to sit down, relax. Let's just watch something in English. Let's just watch something easy, because I don't want to, try. I don't want to spend any more effort. I'm tired. I don't want to spend more effort trying to understand another language. So yeah, it makes perfect sense what he was saying. And to be honest, I feel a little less guilty about my bad experience with studying over here, knowing that other people also have this same problem. It doesn't make it better, it's still a problem, isn't it? I still need to improve my study, I think. Improve my, what study routine, or the amount of time that I study for, that still needs to be improved. But I feel a little less guilty about it, to be perfectly honest. And that's a good thing. Because there are so many people who have this attitude, this way of thinking. If you can go and live in Japan, you can learn Japanese really easily, can't you? If you go and live in England, you can learn English really easily, can't you? But in truth, I think it's harder. Like I said, I was able to do like double or triple, or sometimes even quadruple, 4 times the amount of studying that I'm doing over here. And that's just because, well, many things. 1, massive change to your life. And 2, this language burnout, when you can just have like, no, I've had enough, thank you very much. I've had it all day long. I've had Japanese all day long. I just want a bit of English in the evening when I'm feeling tired, thank you. That sort of thing. Yeah, and years ago, if you were living over here, you probably couldn't watch much English TV or television series, or I don't know actually if that's true. Well, it's not as easy as it is today, but yeah, you can still watch like English films on the TV, and you can change the audio over here into like English audio, and you can buy English books in Japan. No, they're not as popular as Japanese books at all. But yeah, I can find English books in bookstores. So yeah, it's a lot easier now. So a lot easier to watch. I can even watch BBC iPlayer over here. If you don't know what that is, it's a service the BBC has that allows you to watch pretty much all of the channels and television programs that are broadcast on the BBC in England. And I've got access to that over here. You're not supposed to, but don't tell anyone. And sometimes I'll watch it. But yes, anyway, just wanted to explain to you why I'd missed a couple of uploads, and apologise for that. And, I'll be uploading 2 episodes today, so please look forward to the next one as well. Until next time, bye-bye.
Be dazzled this holiday season by Northern Virginia's largest drive-through light show at Bull Run Festival of Lights. Celebrate the holidays as a family while staying warm and cozy. Drive the festival route from the comfort of your car. Turn off your headlights and just follow the magical glow through 2.5 miles of dazzling displays in Bull Run Regional Park in Centerville, Virginia. Plan your visit now. When you visit by mid-December, you'll save. Get your tickets today at bullrunfestivaloflights.com. That's bullrunfestivaloflights.com.